What you're about to see took me under 10 minutes to make.
Thank you! I was looking everywhere for it.
I'm happy I found you. No one should lose something they love.
And I promise you, I did not touch a single editing timeline, drag one clip, or draw anything by hand. I typed some words into a chat box, and a complete animated film came out the other side. Stick around because by the time this video wraps up, you're going to know exactly how to do this yourself. So let me start by telling you why this matters so much right now. If you've ever tried making AI animation videos before, you know the old process is genuinely exhausting. You generate maybe 5 seconds of footage, then another 5, then another. You end up with dozens of tiny clips that all need to be dragged into an editing program, lined up, trimmed, and stitched together into something that actually flows. And even after all of that work, your main character starts drifting. The face changes slightly, the outfit shifts, the style warps. By the end, you're not even sure who you're looking at anymore. That whole process is dead now. There's a completely new way to do this, and it changes everything about how AI animation actually works. The tool making all of this possible is OpenArt AI's Director Suite. Head over to OpenArt AI and open Director Suite. You'll immediately notice that everything lives in one single place. There's a chat interface on one side where you talk to it like you're giving instructions to a real director, and there's a timeline on the other side where all your scenes stack up in sequence. That's the entire workflow. 2 panels, 1 window, no jumping between apps. The simplicity of that setup is exactly what unlocks everything else. Now here's the part most people get completely wrong, and it's the reason their results end up looking forgettable. The biggest mistake you can make with a tool this powerful happens before you even press generate. Most people sit down, open the chat, and type something incredibly vague like make me an animated video about a dragon, or a robot, or whatever their idea happens to be. And to be fair, OpenArt's Director Suite won't just crash and burn on you. It'll actually try to help. It'll ask you clarifying questions and nudge you towards something with a little more detail. But the output from that kind of prompt is always the same story. You get technically competent animation with absolutely nothing going on emotionally. No arc, no tension, no reason to keep watching. That's not a failure of the tool. The tool genuinely cannot decide what your story should be. That responsibility stays with you. So instead of going in vague, treat this like you're briefing an actual director on a short film. Tell it who your main character is. Give them a problem to solve. Build in a moment of discovery, loss, or connection. Tell it you want a specific kind of ending. The more intentional you are at this stage, the more the tool has to work with, and the difference in output quality is honestly startling. Here's an example of what that looks like in practice. Instead of saying, make me an animated video about a little bear, give the director something it can actually build a story around. Tell it your little bear is wandering through a quiet, snowy forest when he discovers a bright red snow glove lying in the snow. Curious, he notices a trail of small footprints leading deeper into the woods. He follows the tracks, making his way through the snowy forest until he finds a young girl searching everywhere for her missing glove. The bear gently returns the glove, and the story ends with the girl smiling, thanking her new friend, and the two of them walking through the snowy forest together. That kind of brief gives the tool everything it needs to create scenes with real emotion, clear motivation, and a satisfying payoff. It'll shape your rough concept into a structured story with a beginning, middle, and resolution. And it'll keep your characters, story, and emotional tone consistent from beginning to end. Once your story is locked, this is where things get genuinely wild. You tell it to generate the entire film, not a clip, not a scene, the whole thing. And what comes back is a complete animated short with consistent characters, a coherent visual style, and background music already layered in to match the emotional tone. The fact that your main character looks identical in Scene 1, Scene 7, and the final frame is the part that should not be technically possible at this level. Character consistency across a full generation is the problem that's been killing AI animation workflows for years. OpenArt's Director suite has actually solved it. Not perfectly, there are occasional small quirks, but at a level that genuinely holds up.
Thank you.
Now, let's say you watch your film back and a scene isn't quite right. Maybe the mood of the opening feels too bright, or you want the environment to shift entirely. In the old workflow, changing one scene meant regenerating it, restitching everything around it, and hoping nothing else broke in the process. Here, you just describe what you want changed in the chat. Ask for the opening to become a nighttime scene. The whole thing shifts to moonlight and shadow. And here's what matters most. Your character doesn't change at all. The time of day has been updated. Everything else stayed exactly as it was. You can push this even further. Ask it to drop your character into a completely different environment. Swap a snowy forest for a scorched desert, and it'll rebuild the whole visual world around your character without touching the character itself. You can even redirect specific details to other characters in your story. Want to change someone's outfit color from deep blue to red? Just ask. It'll recolor consistently across every shot that the character appears in. The level of control you have just through conversation is something I genuinely wasn't expecting when I first started using this. For the really precise adjustments though, conversation only goes so far. That's where the timeline panel earns its place. If a specific shot is dragging too long and killing the pacing right when energy should be rising, don't try to describe that vaguely in the chat. Go directly to the timeline, grab the exact shot, and trim it yourself. Do that across a couple of scenes, and suddenly the whole rhythm of the piece snaps into focus. The rule here is simple. Use the chat for creative direction and use the timeline for surgical precision. The last major piece is audio and dialogue. Once the visuals are locked, you can go into any scene and write actual spoken lines for your characters.
Gracias. Ando por todas partes.
Me alegra haberte encontrado. Nadie debería perder algo que ama.
OpenArt's Director suite assigns each character their own distinct voice, and the mouths sync up with what's being said. But here's the feature that honestly surprised me most. You can take that same dialogue and switch the entire thing into a different language. We're not talking about just dubbing audio on top of existing mouth movements. The system actually reshapes the mouth animations to match the phonetics of the new language. It currently works across more than 8 languages. So something you made entirely in English can be experienced by someone who doesn't speak English at all, and it still feels like it was built specifically for them. The reach of your content is enormous.
Gracias. Ando por todas partes.
Me alegra haberte encontrado. Nadie debería perder algo que ama.
When you zoom out and look at everything together, it's genuinely remarkable. You started with one rough idea typed into a chat box. You ended up with a complete animated film featuring consistent characters, a real emotional arc, background music, dialogue, lip-synced voices, and the option to publish it in multiple languages.
Thank you. I was looking everywhere for it.
I'm happy I found you. No one should lose something they love.
All of that happened in a single tool without touching a single external app. The link to OpenArt AI is in the description below. There are a few different plan options available. If you're planning to use this seriously and make more than just 1 or 2 videos, the annual Wonder Plan gives you the best room to create without constantly worrying about running out of credits. That's the one I'd point most people toward. And here's the thing. A short animated film is just the beginning of what this workflow can do. The same approach, the same chat-based directing, and the same character consistency can be used to create something even more ambitious. A full music video with original audio, fully animated characters, and every lyric perfectly synchronized to the character's lip movements. I built one from scratch using this exact workflow, and the final result honestly exceeded my expectations. If you want to see exactly how I made it, click the video on your screen right now, and I'll walk you through the entire process step by step. If you enjoy discovering the latest AI tools and practical tutorials that help you create more while spending less, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.